Hi, my name's Diane Griffin, and 5 days ago I had the Inspire implant. And a lot of my friends and family had wanted me to let them know how it was going. So I thought I'd do a YouTube video journal and just kind of keep everybody up to date that way. Um, when I first started this whole process of getting the Inspire, one of the first things that I looked for was somebody on YouTube that had actually had the implant and how it actually went for them, instead of an advertisement or something like that. So that's a big purpose of why I want to do this, is to inform people later on so that they can kind of have an idea of what to expect. I started the process about a year ago. And I went online looking at some things to see kind of what the qualifications were. You had to have sleep apnea, you had to have used a CPAP machine, and you had to have a BMI, body index, of less than 30. So that was one of my concerns, and so I started working out at the gym and trying to make sure that I had that under cover. But it didn't seem, they asked me my height and weight, of course, when I went in there, and I guess maybe that was the calculation, but I don't think they do if your index numbers are up. So you might want to watch that if you're going to have this done. So anyway, I had the first two under control. I had been diagnosed with sleep apnea in 2008 and had wore a CPAP machine ever since then until about 5 years ago, and then I was changed to a BiPAP machine, which it was just consistently getting worse. And if you've ever had either one of those machines, you'll know that it makes it very hard to sleep at night. Makes your face puffy. You have to carry it with you everywhere you go. If you're claustrophobic at all, it makes it very difficult to have something wrapped around your head and on your face at night. So those were some of the criteria that you had to meet. So I went online to the Inspire, and they actually called me and talked to me about some of the questions that they had online, and then they gave me a list of the doctors in the area that performed the surgery on it. And so I picked a ear, nose, and throat specialist here in Dallas area, and they actually set up the appointment for me and got everything going on that. So when I went in, he asked me a lot of the same questions again, but he did the first test, and that was to see if I had a deviated septum. And the way he checked for that was he sprayed some numbing spray up my nose and then ran a tube with a camera in to see if my septum had been deviated at all. Well, I passed that one. So because I passed that one and answered all these questions correctly, then he made an appointment for me to have an endoscope. And that test, I went to the surgery center, was put out for it, and they run a tube down your throat to see what your tongue does while you're asleep. Because the Inspire only helps the obstructive sleep disorder, so where your tongue actually blocks off your airway at night. So that I had that test done and ran that, and that one, I passed that one. And then the third one was a sleep study, and they sent me the machinery, the equipment to my home and let me have it at home sleep study. Well, when you do a home sleep study, you have to do it for 3 nights. And I would prefer going somewhere, do it one night and get it over with. But anyway, I did the 3 nights, and it was one of the monitors on your finger for oxygen. Then you had the cannula up your nose, and a strap that went around your chest to check your heart rate. And then it was recording all your snoring and everything that happened during the night. So we sent that, and that was that was in December by the time that was all completed and got the results back on it and everything. And we had started this in September. So that tells you kind of how long it takes to get all these testing done on it. But by the time we got it back, and then we had some insurance mix-ups and some problems with that, we didn't get it done by the end of December. So then next year we're looking at, deductibles and co-pays and out-of-pocket expense, so that kind of delayed it a little bit longer. So as soon as we hit the deductibles and the co-pays, I went ahead and scheduled the surgery. And that's what happened like 5 days ago. A week prior to that, I went in to see my doctor, the surgeon, just as a pre-op visit with him, get to know him a little bit. And he didn't do any testing or anything, just kind of really talked to me, telling me about the surgery, what it was going to be like and everything. And then last Tuesday I went in to the surgery center, got there 6 o'clock in the morning, very early, but it went very quickly. We got back there, the nurses were in there, they were taking care of me. I met with the doctor, I met with the anesthesiologist. There was also a representative from Inspire that was going to be in the operating room with us, and they hooked the machine up, the Inspire up, and then they test it on you while you're out, so that they make sure that it works before they ever, in the surgery. So the next thing, I woke up and the nurse was asking me, what my pain level was, and at that point I told her, I said, it's like a 2. I have a sore throat and I have some tightness in my chest, but I wasn't in any real pain from any of the incisions or anything. So that was really good. But, so we got dressed and went home, and I pretty much slept most of that day and was continuing to take the pain medicines. Some people say that they don't need a pain medicine after they have it done, but I didn't want to take any chances. And then the second night, when I did go to bed the second night, I was having a lot of pain, a lot of tightness in my chest, and it hurt. And I had this little flat pillow, and I found that I could hug that pillow, and that helped. And it also helped, like, I didn't have to lay flat on my back all the time if I had that pillow. If I didn't have that pillow and I turned over to the side, it felt like everything was moving around. It's not so bad now. Once it started healing up, I don't feel that, but then it did kind of hurt and made it uncomfortable at night. So if that helps you, grab a small pillow and just have that for your chest. Putting ice on my incisions, for the swelling, using chloroseptic for my throat. That's probably been one of the worst parts of it, is just the sore throat. It made it hard to eat, hard to swallow. If I coughed, coughing hurts, laughing at first hurt, but all of that's getting better each day. But you can see there's the incision for my neck, and they didn't put any stitches in. It's just glue, and it will come off, with showers, and as it comes off, and then right there's the incision for the chest. And I actually thought that this would be more over to the outside and maybe up even a little bit more, but that works fine. It's where it's at. And he says it's a glue that they use for cosmetic surgery so that it doesn't leave a big scar. So that should work really well too. But I go in 2 days to have the post-op with him, and then it'll be 3 weeks after that. I'll go back in and they'll actually turn it on. So for right now, I'm just healing and not using the system yet. As soon as that 3 weeks and they turn it on, and then I'll be able to use that to sleep at night. So I'll be able to give you a little bit more information about it and how it's working. I'm sure I'll probably have to have another sleep study done right away just to make sure that it's all working correctly and that it's strong enough, or whatever they need to do to make it work for me. And I know the remote is adjustable. So I'll make another video then and let you know how it's going. Until then, bye guys.